She laughed when she dumped you. Use this and she'll regret it for life. Good, let her laugh. The last laugh belongs to the man who turns pain into power. Right now it stings. She blocked you on iMessage, left you on read on Instagram. She posted a rooftop boomerang in New York with some new guy in a Yankees cap, and your boys saw it before you did. You begged, sent the long paragraph at 2 a.m., scrolled old photos like a ghost. That's the taste of lost respect. You feel small, humiliated, like she took your name out of her mouth and threw it into the group chat. I've seen it in Miami, in Dallas, in LA. Same script. She dumps, she laughs, she parades. And you chase. That ends today. I'm going to hand you the protocol I give to my clients from Wall Street to Silicon Valley. Disappear with purpose. Rebuild your frame. Stack status. No drama. No one last text. No pleading. You'll learn why silence is leverage, why no contact works in the attention economy, how to reset your dopamine, rebuild your body at 5 a.m., sharpen your money and mission, and engineer social proof without looking like a clown. Not to hurt her, understand this, but to become a man with presence, purpose, and boundaries so strong she can only watch from a distance. The side effect? Regret that lingers. Subscribe to the channel now because we're going straight into tactics. And in the first pinned comment, I left extra material to go deeper, your no-contact checklist, and a 7-day reset to get your head and habits back in line. Next, I'll reveal the single boundary that flips the dynamic, and why her upgrade is already on borrowed time. Question is, can you stay silent long enough to be heard? That boundary, you cut access, cold. You leave the table when respect is no longer served. Not a flinch, not a breadcrumb. She laughs, she posts, she parades. You vanish. Silence that can be heard across state lines. Watch what happens when you stop auditioning for her attention. The noise dies. Your dopamine resets. Your frame returns. But most men sabotage this moment. They turn into night watchmen of her life, patrolling her stories, zooming in on rooftop boomerangs like detectives without a badge. They beg in paragraphs, throw pity parties in her DMs, then wake up hungover to a sent at 1:47 a.m. You up? That reads like a confession. They accept the demotion to friend, smiling through the disrespect like a bouncer who forgot his own dress code. All of that screams one thing: no self-governance, and a man without self-governance is a man without gravity. You're not doing any of it. You don't stalk. You don't plead. You don't leak weakness at midnight with whiskey on your breath. You don't play the platonic helper while she parades the new guy in a Yankees cap. You go dark. You go stoic. You go build. Why does the silence flip the room? Because in an attention economy, the rarest currency is restraint. Most men spend attention like loose change. You invest it like capital. You pull it from the market. Scarcity hits. The algorithm of her mind notices the missing signal, especially if she's used to you orbiting like a satellite. She wonders if the satellite moved on to a bigger planet. But this isn't about her. It's about principle. It's about you becoming a man that doesn't need to be heard to be felt. Picture New York in December. Nick from Queens. Union job by day. Side hustle fixing bikes in Astoria by night. Girlfriend of 2 years dumps him at a diner on Northern Boulevard. No tears, just a smirk and you'll find someone. 2 days later, she's posting from a LES speakeasy with a finance bro in suede loafers. Nick folds at first. He scrolls, he aches. He types 3 drafts of a love letter that belong in a trash bin, not a woman's phone. Then he makes a decision. He disappears. He deletes the thread, unfollows, mutes the world. 5 a.m. Runs over the Queensboro Bridge in the dark. Lunch breaks become deadlifts. Nighttime becomes certifications and spreadsheets. He cuts sugar, cuts gossip, cuts excuses. He tightens his fade at a shop in Jackson Heights, buys 2 suits that actually fit, schedules his dentist, fixes the cracked screen on his phone. Small things stacking respect. You think nobody sees? People always see. His foreman notices his focus. A client posts his custom bike on Instagram and tags him. A friend invites him to a Knicks game. He goes, but he leaves his phone in his pocket. He laughs with his boys again. Not bitter, just bright. One Sunday, he's in a coffee shop on Ditmars, planning his week, when she texts from a green bubble, "Hey, stranger, how've you been?" He stares at it with a calm pulse. No fireworks, no anger. Just a man with options. He replies 2 days later, polite, short, no invitation. She feels the temperature difference. A month after that, he's at a rooftop in Long Island City with a woman who respects his pace. She takes a photo. He doesn't post. He doesn't need to. He became unreachable not because he's hiding, but because he's busy being a man. You want that energy? It starts with subtraction. Remove her access, remove the audience, remove the drift. You don't announce it, you execute. You set your phone to grayscale, you turn off notifications. You put your shoes at the foot of your bed like a contract with the morning. A simple life with hard edges. You're not punishing, you're pruning. When the tree grows back, it's stronger. And yes, the tests will come. A random meme from a burner account. A "you'd love this song at midnight." A "can we talk, it's important." Is it important? Or is it curiosity? You don't rush to find out. You let time do the talking. What happens when you don't dance? People show you their rhythm. Let them. You'll feel the itch to check her stories. That itch is withdrawal. Scratch it and you bleed respect. Resist and you grow teeth. Every hour you don't look is a rep. Every day you don't text is a deposit. What about the nights you will feel alone? Good. Solitude is where men meet themselves. You fill it with work, steel, and scripture. Whatever your code is. You fill it with sweat at 5 a.m., protein instead of pity, books instead of breadcrumbs. You take meetings. You start the project you've been postponing. You clean your car. You call your father. You visit your grandfather. You tighten your circle. You become the man whose calendar is proof of his priorities. But let's be honest, there's a reason some men can't hold the line. They chase because their mission is a ghost. With no engine, the heart looks for external fuel. You fix that now. You pick a lane. Tech sales? Then you own the pipeline, real estate. Then you own your follow-ups, your open houses, your Saturday mornings. Creative? Then you ship content on schedule and let the algorithm of consistency feed you. This is not Hollywood, this is habit. The new guy in the Yankees cap might be loud today, but loud is not the same as lasting. Do you know what lasts? Work, discipline, standards. Resets matter. So ask yourself right now, if she called tonight, would you be proud of the man who answered? Or would you hide the beer cans under the couch and silence the ESPN highlights? Pride is built in private. The phone rings differently when your life is in order. Don't mistake stoicism for bitterness. You are not plotting revenge. You are not scripting her meltdown. You don't hate. You elevate. You thank the lesson and you build the life that would have made the relationship optional anyway. Paradox? Absolutely. The less you need, the more attractive you become. Not to her, to the world. And the world pays in opportunities, not apologies. Now hear these and put them on your wall. Do not chase what disrespects you. Ever. Silence is a response. Use it. Mission over emotion. Every day. Value your time like a contract. No discounts. You decide access. You decide pace. You decide tone. Let that sink. Because every DM you don't send, every just checking in you swallow, every let's still be friends you refuse, you're training your mind to hold frame under pressure. What does holding frame look like at 7 p.m. on a Friday? It looks like showing up to your lifting session when your boys call you for a bar crawl. It looks like passing on the second bourbon and going home to sleep like a professional. It looks like being cordial if you bump into her at Whole Foods, but not lingering in the produce aisle like a lost puppy. Eye contact, half smile. Hope you've been well. Then you walk. Men who linger lose. Maybe you're thinking, but what if she moves in with the new guy? What if they look happy? Let them. Social media happiness is a highlight reel. Real happiness is bills paid, body sharp, purpose burning, and a quiet confidence that doesn't need a cheering section. Real happiness is you looking in the mirror and seeing a man whose standards don't shake when a pretty face smiles. There's a detail most men miss. No contact is not about a timer. It's about identity. If you're counting days, you're still negotiating with yourself. You don't count. You convert. You convert pain into projects, jealousy into gym sessions, rumination into revenue, emptiness into excellence. You become so occupied with your climb that the past becomes a story, not a script. But wait, what if she shows up again with remorse? What if the laughter turns into a late night, "I've been thinking about you"? Do you fold? Do you flex? Or do you follow a code that keeps your soul intact? That answer is coming. For now, you prepare by removing the weak habits that make you vulnerable. You uninstall the platforms that trigger you. You tighten your diet so your mood isn't hijacked by sugar crashes. You buy a cheap notebook, and you write every morning. The win you're chasing, the man you're becoming, the rules you refuse to break. 5 minutes. Non-negotiable. Think back to Nick from Queens. Months later, his ex reached out again. "I miss us." He didn't weaponize silence. He honored his growth. He met her for coffee, on his terms, at his time, with his frame. He listened not to her words but to his body. Calm, clear. He realized something quietly powerful. The man he became doesn't fit in the life he left. He wished her well. He left. Thunder doesn't brag. It just rolls across the city. You can have that composure. It's not genetic, it's built day by day, rep by rep. You don't need her regret as fuel, but it will come, as a side effect of your standard. And even if it doesn't, your life is still better. That's the win. That's the lesson. That's the point. So here's your checkpoint. Tonight, before you sleep, you set the next 7 mornings. Wake time, workout, work block, social detox, one act of service to your future self. Will you slip? Maybe. You correct fast. You do not spiral. You honor the boundary you set like a contract signed in ink you can't wash off. Because the final move, the one that cements your frame, the one that decides whether a second chance strengthens or sinks you, arrives next. In the conclusion, we lay down the verdict, what to say if she calls, what to do if she shows up, how to keep your power even when your heart stirs. The sentence is coming. Can you hold your silence until then? Here's the sentence. Access is earned, or it's gone. You hold the line, then you decide the terms. If she calls, you don't rush, you don't perform. You don't spill feelings like a busted hydrant on a July sidewalk. You answer calm, slow, American steel. Good to hear your voice. I'm focused right now. If you're calling to talk about reconciliation, that means respect and exclusivity, not nostalgia. If not, I wish you well. No debate, no history class, no late-night therapy on your dime. If she pushes for just to catch up, you don't convert a demotion into a dinner. I don't do friendship post-breakup. Take care. Then you hang up and go lift. If she texts, you treat it like mail, arrives when it arrives, you open it when it fits your schedule. Curiosity pings, you let it sit. Logistics or sincere ownership, you respond in hours, not seconds, with clarity, not paragraphs. If your intent is a real conversation, propose a time next week. Public place, daylight. We keep it simple. You don't emoji your way back into limbo. You don't flirt yourself into a sequel of the same movie. If she shows up in person, you don't fold. You stand tall, shoulders down, voice low. No invite inside. Public, midday, 30-minute cap. You listen like a man, not a fan. You hear facts, not feelings. When it's your turn, if there's a second chance, it's earned by actions. Clear standards, no mixed signals. If not, I wish you peace. No touch, no memory lane. You end the meet first. You walk. Here's the frame that keeps your power when your heart stirs. 3 gates. Time, truth, terms. Time. You don't rush. You watch consistency for weeks, not hours. Truth. You don't accept word salads. You look for responsibility without spin. Terms. Your non-negotiables are on the table. Respect in public and private. Exclusivity without disclaimers. Alignment on pace and plans. Fail any gate and you exit quietly. You're not cruel. You're clear. What if she wants back in? Then it's probation, not a parade. No intimacy for 30 days while you watch behavior, not promises. No, we're figuring it out, while she keeps a safety net. No double life. You lead logistics, once-a-week meetups, then you return to your mission. If she calls you controlling for having standards, you smile, pay for your coffee, and end it. Standards aren't control, they're self-respect. What if your chest tightens when you see her? Breathe. In through the nose. Longer out than in. Drop your shoulders. Speak slower than your pulse. If you can't hold steady, you end the conversation. Not the right time for me. Take care. Power is the ability to walk. And if she laughs again, let her. People laugh at what they can't influence. Silence is still the loudest move in a noisy country. The algorithm of her mind notices the missing signal while your life compounds. Promotions, PRs, passport stamps, Sunday dinners with family you haven't seen in months. You're not auditioning, you're building. Memorize the laws. Short, sharp, unbreakable. Do not chase what disrespects you. Silence is a response. Mission over emotion. Time is a contract, no discounts. You decide access. You decide pace. You decide tone. Men who linger lose. This was never about punishment. It's about principle. You become the man whose calendar proves his priorities and whose presence speaks without a speech. Regret, if it shows up, is a side effect, not your fuel. Your fuel is order. Your engine is discipline. Your compass is standard. Look in the mirror tonight and ask the only question that matters. If she texted right now, would the man staring back at you protect the life he's building or sell it for 5 minutes of attention? If this hit you where you live, subscribe now. Hit like if you're done chasing noise. Drop a comment with standard and the date you begin your 7-day reset. Then share one boundary you'll enforce this week so another man in this country remembers his gravity. Respect or removal. Case closed.